Hello, it's Lara here. So I've been back from my holiday in Canada and British Columbia, my hometown, for 2 weeks now. And I find it usually takes me about 2 weeks to land, to get over jet lag, to transition from Canada life to London life. And I thought it'd be nice to connect in with you guys and just share a bit where I'm at. I've been going through quite a big and powerful time of change and inner transformation. And it's been a very inward, quiet, quite solitary time of change. And I felt it would be nice to share with you and update you with what's been going on for me in my personal life. Because in the connections that I have had, when I have spoken to people, I'm hearing a lot of people sharing a similar thing. So hopefully it's helpful for you to hear a little bit about what's been happening for me. I'd be really interested to know if you relate at all. So as you know or may not know, 13 months ago, I was very strongly and clearly guided to stop being active in my business, which confused me a lot. It took me quite a few months to really surrender to this information. But basically, it was to stop being active in terms of creating programs or marketing or promoting. Zero kind of pushing in my business. And I had no idea it would be going on for this long. And to be honest with you, I was really hoping by this time, September, it would have been just over a year, that I would know what my action was, my focus was moving forward. And all summer I got really strong guidance just to go within, be home, connect with the land, my home where I grew up, and just enjoy and go within. And I really thought that by the time I got back, I'd be like, right, okay, cool, what are we doing? What's my instructions? Now, if you don't know, I imagine you might, if you've been connected with me for a while, that I had made a promise and a vow to always follow my intuition 15 years ago, and it's always served me. So my intuition has still basically been telling me to not do anything. And so I have to trust it, because I always have. But I have to be honest with you, it's been a challenge since coming back to not be clear on what I'm doing, what I'm creating, what I'm focusing on moving forward. I'm all about surrender. I'm all about letting go, going within, doing all the inner work. But I also really thrive from having a focus and I love creating. I love putting my energy into something, and I'm a bit all or nothing. So whatever I'm doing it. And it's been quite weird to, especially these last weeks, I think I really had an expectation that by now I would know what's happening. So when I'm really listening, which I'm doing every day, the message is just to go within, and it feels like this, I was going to say a death and a birth all at once. So it feels like there's a huge birth happening, but for that birth to happen, there is a big death. And I teach about surrender and letting go, and I do my best to practice it as well. But it's hard, really letting go, like deeply letting go and surrendering is challenging. So that's what I'm doing. I'm surrendering as much as possible and trusting as much as possible. And I still don't have the instructions, the guidance. Everything I've created in my business, everything I've done, I was guided to do from my inner wisdom, my heart, and my heart just wants me to land into myself. And it's been very interesting, because it's been a year off, in a sense, off from what I was doing and how I was working in my business. But it's also been a really interesting time of review. So I've been looking a lot at things like marketing and promoting and all these ways that I've been learning about sharing and growing your business online, for example. And I have this strong feeling that the world is ready They're ready for new ways of sharing and promoting and creating. And I think this last year has been a really deep learning for me in this new way. But it's very, very different to I guess what we've been taught or learning about. So yeah, I guess it's like an big time of integration. So I have had ideas, and I'm, exciting ideas and things I want to create and do and share with you guys, and but it's not quite ready. And I really want to make sure that whatever I bring out and whatever I decide is truly aligned and it's the right thing. So I'm having to be ultra patient right now, which is hard for me. I'm an Aries, an impatient Aries, um, and really trust to the point where like letting go means really letting go. So to the point where I'm like, okay, if this means letting go of my business and my work and everything, I'll do it. I will do it, but that is hard, I tell you what. And so I'm really having to look at all my attachments. And the other thing I've been looking at a lot is identity. So how much I've identified as a healer. I've identified in this role of I guess a teacher, of a coach, and how much I've defined myself from that. So that was a surprise too, because sometimes we don't realize what is running us. And so this last year has been, well, if I'm not doing that, then what am I? And how much of, my worth and value I got from that role. So if you take that away, then what are you left with? So it's been a really, really powerful year, or 13 months. And I know it will continue to be so. And I do hope, because I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play and start creating more actively. But I'm still not sure what that is yet. So I have a strong feeling it will come clear in the near future. But that's where I am right now. So I'm deeply practicing everything I preach and doing my best to let go as much as possible. Now, the mind, my mind still bounces out and wants answers and wants to figure it out and wants to understand what's happening. And yet the deeper process is this, it really does feel like a death and a birth. This deep letting go, surrendering, and allowing the evolution of this next phase to come through. So it's so hard for our poor minds, and it's been really hard for my poor mind not understanding what the F is going on. And my mind's like freaking out sometimes. But the deeper wisdom, my heart wisdom, my soul wisdom knows exactly what's going on. And it's all okay. It's just a process. Like with labor, you can't rush that. You have no idea how long a labor is going to be or what's going to happen. All you can do is surrender. You can prepare, of course, but you need to let go. So that's what I'm doing, and I reach out for support. I make sure I get support and help through that, and yeah. So that's where I'm at right now, and who knows? I might have some fun stuff to share with you very soon. What's been really cool is I made a list the other day of what do I love, what do I really love, what don't I love, and particularly around my work. And what I've realized that I love is I really love connection. I love deep heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul connection with other people. I was going to say women because it's mainly women, but it's men and women. Deep, authentic heart-to-heart connection. And that, whatever I do, won't change. And that's really nice to know that that's what I really love. And what I don't love, what I realize, I don't love feeling responsible for other people's path and their journey. I don't love feeling like people coming to me for answers, like to fix them, because I know I can't fix them. I can just support them and guide them. So the heaviness or burden of responsibility or feeling like it's my job to help, that's all going. Because that's super heavy. And also it's just not true. Like I can't, even though that's one of the reasons I've struggled with the term healer, because that implies like me healing someone else, and that's not how healing works. So I know having done this work for a very long time, that it's the individuals, like the individuals actually healing themselves. They're making a choice and shifting with support and holding through that. So I feel like it's time for, like for me, it's just learning about, maybe it's just learning about doing my job from a slightly different place. And um, it's a huge change, even though it's a simple change, probably at the end of the day. It, it feels like this mammoth mountain of shifting. But I think at the end of the day, it's probably all going to be super simple. But it's really nice to know what you love. So yeah, I'd love to hear as well from you, like what do you really love? Like what makes you happy? And it's quite nice because then you can just sort of drop all the bullshit, really, like drop the heaviness, drop the stuff that's not aligned with you. Or, you know, sometimes there's a transition time for that change. It might not happen overnight, but getting really clear. I haven't been following astrology super closely, but I know, like talking to like lots of different people, that it seems like this is a huge time of review and realignment and reconfiguration and just massive change. So I know as well, like it can feel quite lonely. Like in my process, I feel quite alone sometimes in it. But then we have to remember that we really aren't, because everyone I speak to when I get on the phone or meet up with sound like going through really similar things. So I would love to hear from you. What's going on for you, where you're at? And let's see. We're stepping into the great unknown. And although, like, I'll be honest with you that this time I haven't been enjoying, it is also a beautiful thing. And I talked to a lovely woman yesterday. She's like, "This is so exciting, Lara." I'm like, "No, it really doesn't. It doesn't feel exciting at all." But actually, there is something beautiful about that unknown space, and there's something very creative about it as well. But it's not easy in the moment, but it will all make sense in time. And I'm really sorry I can't speak and read your messages, but hi to everyone who's here. And sending you huge amounts of love. And because I love connecting, I'd love to hear from you. And I look forward to speaking to you and checking in again very soon. Lots of love.